Alright, part 3 of the
So
Texas
Jessica
Chainsaw
Biel
Massacre.
runs into the trailer
03
of
remake.
the tea lady's house, the fat lady.
Part 3 review. In-depth discussion. So we left off at Jessica Biel shows up at the tea lady's house, and she's like, "Aw."
And they're like,
how are
Thomas Hewitt? Oh, he's such a sweet little boy.
He's a nice little boy.
Because I guess the Hewitts been like, they give him human meat to eat too, because that town decayed.
So it's like your grandma's like best friend, tea lady.
From the beginning.
And she's like, "Oh, he knows better than messing around here."
And then so she spikes the tea.
She spikes the tea with like some valerian root and like some crazy stuff
and like a half
lithium
a zany.
And a half a zany and some scalactic.
And then like, and she's like, "That's not your baby," or something.
Oh yeah, and she's like, "That's not your baby." And
It's
she's
like a
And
subplot.
then she passes out. Yeah, it's like a different plot. Like there's the baby from the family from the photo.
Like
it's
there's
wow,
another family.
shit's retarded. All right, so
like it's a town instead of
totally Hollywood writers. Okay, let's see here, and then it cuts to...
it provides depth for the script, though.
So then it cuts back to the house.
It's better than, like, 70s filler where they'll film, like, a scene forever.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It cuts back to the Hughes residence, and Hoyt's, like, getting his pants ironed by your grandma.
And
it's like 3 in the morning.
He's pouring beer on Jessica Biel's face.
She wakes up, and she's like...
She wakes up in the Hewitt house.
And your grandma's like, "Hey, leave it alone."
Which is, like, Studio H... Like set C,
set B, set D. This time we don't know. Set 4.
Who the hell knows?
Anyways, so then it cuts to like Leatherface, like in the base, or like they're talking.
They won't let won't let Jedediah in the house because he's like got rabies or something.
Yeah, they won't let Jedediah. He's tapping on the window, and she won't let him in because he's got rabies or like some other skin disease like Leatherface or something. But anyways, Leatherface is on the side, like in the hallway, like listening to the conversation, and Grandma's like telling her like, "Nobody ever. I know you're kind. You're gonna hurt my boy."
So Hoyt calls Leatherface, and he drags Jessica Biel and throws her down the stairs, and it's like a total stunt bitch.
It's a total stunt devil rolling down the stairs, and that'd be all the worst.
And
thing
they're like,
"All right,
stunt double. All right, who's the person that wants to?
All right, who are we gonna
cut
pay?
Years off their back.
Who are we gonna pay? Which stunt double are we gonna pay extra to fall on the stairs? Alright, anyways. So, and then she goes down there and she sees Pete's friend like still hanging up.
Finds freaking He-Man.
And she's like,
with his leg cut off, and it's like a total emotional.
He's like, "Kill me, just finish me."
With water everywhere.
And it's like, and he's like, "Just kill me, finish me." And she gets like a long knife, and you're like, "Wow, what is this?"
This is the part where you just fast forward on your DVD
Shout
player.
out to Myers Fan 25. Anyways, so freaking she gets a knife and stabs
and then
him,
she
kills
finds
him,
Morgan, Mikey Lips.
And then she finds Mikey Lips, pencil
chained into
pencil
a
mustache
bathtub.
kid, sitting in the bathtub like with his eyes gouged out or something.
No, nothing was wrong with him. He just had his mouth busted.
And he's
he was
like,
just tied in there.
"You mother."
Leatherface didn't get to him.
Anyway, so then Jedediah shows up out of nowhere, and he's like, "Follow me." And they lead him out the basement. And by this time, it's a total set. It's like a little corridor.
And then Leatherface is like, "Get the hell out of the way, rabies boy."
And then Leatherface is like, "Rabies boy, get away from him." And they change.
And then they hide in an abandoned house.
Chainsaw.
It's kind of weird.
Jessica Biel takes Mikey Lips out to the freaking barn. And just freaking hides him in like the closet. And she gets like in a little like under the wall part.
Like filler, and it's just
total
like
filler scenes,
dark
like,
as
waiting
hell,
for him
and
to
they're
like
hiding
waiting
in the
for Leatherface to walk around, and it's going on forever. And then finally,
but they do a bunch of tight ass shots of Leatherface.
He finds freaking Mikey Lips, pulls him out, and then she runs out, hits him. He throws her on the ground.
She hangs Mikey Lips on the chandelier.
He picks up Mikey Lips, put him on the chandelier, and pushes Jessica Biel down. And then
he starts up the chainsaw.
And freaking goes up on his freaking wiener, like Anthony Weiner.
The Jessica Biel. No, and then Jessica Biel runs like through a barbed wire in Leatherface.
She chases. All right, so then Mikey Lips is dead, and then freaking he chases Jessica Biel to the classic. Farmhouse, and shows
Leatherface cuts his leg. This happens. They make Leatherface. He's going through the barbed wire like he's never done that before. He lives in freaking Texas. It's the Texas Chainsaw. He's Thomas Hewitt. And they make him like fat as hell or something.
Oh, yeah,
like in the
also got,
original,
like, a
he's
He's
skinnier.
got like a hunchback.
He's
of
like
Notre
the hunchback of gayness.
He's like the Leatherface hunchback of Notre Dame.
He's like the hunchback of Travis County.
Alright, let's see. Alright, so freaking.
It's
so
like
then
Andrew
just-
Barnesky,
So they
like
show
38,
up at
like,
they show up at the
like 50 pounds overweight.
show up at the meat place packing company.
So he cuts his leg. Oh, and then it shows the iconic
And then
Blair
it's total
meat.
filler where she's running through
Okay,
the
no,
kitchen.
no, no,
She's
the
running
Blair
through the
Meat
freezer, she's
Factory.
running through the,
No, the Blair Meat
and there's
Factory.
like still
company.
cows there, even though it was shut down. And there's like still meat in the freezers
And
up there, and you're like, what the?
I know.
even if
In the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, they show the Blair Meat Factory cut down. Went out of business in '69.
So even if the place was still reopened, the place would be all locked, and she wouldn't even gotten there.
And
in the
there
first
was
place.
like enough meat to like
last
feed,
everyone
to
so,
last the Hewitts and the Tea Lady for like
ever
5 years, but they're killing.
people like teenagers, like hippies. All right, so freaking.
It's like a total plot hole.
So then
It's like Nate Dunning's butthole
so you're like,
again.
you're like, all right. So then it goes to freaking her hiding inside the locker, and Leatherface is walking around. It's like dope. It's pretty tight shots of Leatherface at this point through the movie and these shades, and it's pretty
And
sweet.
he's chasing
on
her
the
through
mask,
the meat
the
like
way it
it's
looks.
Rocky Balboa. And you're expecting Polly to be like porking one of them.
He's porking it.
Like in
He's
the
porking
Family
it.
Guy scene.
All right. Anyway, so
And then
freaking-
out of nowhere,
she's got the
Leatherface.
hatchet. She's got the hatchet.
No,
like
Leatherface
it's
turns
freaking
on the
ICP.
sprinkler. She grabs a cleaver like it's
She grabs
freaking
a
ICP
cleaver
or
like
some
it's
stupid
freaking
shit.
Hatchet Man or some whack shit.
Then Leatherface like has like the brains to like turn on the
He
sprinklers.
has the
so
audacity
Blair
to like
meat-
turn on the sprinklers
For no reason.
reason at all. Like why the writers
He's
put that in
ruining
there?
the meat.
They just
And
put
there's,
that
like,
in there so
pigs
Jessica
and there's,
Biel
like,
could
live-
freaking get all wet.
There's livestock like dead and alive,
yeah,
like so
like-
much, and pigs.
And you're like, okay. And then she finally breaks out, like, freaking after she hits him with the meat cleaver out of the locker. And
no,
then
she's hiding in
freaking-
the locker forever, and he picks the wrong one, and she comes out, and he's like, ah, motherfucker.
And
And
then
she
he
chops
gets
his-
hacked up pretty good. And then
It's-
it's
even
a
though
pretty
he has
tight
a
shot.
freaking chainsaw.
It's a pretty tight shot because he drops the chainsaw and it's going in a circle and there's blood everywhere. And he's like,
Oh, that is badass.
It's pretty
that
dope,
they
pretty
thought
dope,
of
pretty dope.
that to do that, and it was freaking
And then he
badass.
chases her out there and he's like, God.
And it's going around, and it's smearing blood in a circle. It's like one of the best shots of the 2000s.
Anyways, so then Jessica Biel goes out like a freaking back loading dock and it's like all raining. She goes out to the road and a car stops and then it like
No, she's
drives off.
traumatized, like the freaking opening scene of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake again. Like, they make
Like,
her
wow, like I haven't seen
She's
this before.
like, no, don't go that way.
She gets picked up by the truck and she's like, don't
What?
go that, no. And you're like, wow,
Like-
repeat, what is this,
like
freaking
they
Family
flipped her
Ties?
into traumatized.
You're like, wow, I've seen this before.
And
Alright.
he's like, "It's
He's like,
okay,
I'm gonna
you're
get
with
you
me
help.
now."
He's like, I'm gonna get you help. And he pulls over at the
Semi-truck.
freaking, at the grandma's, at the freaking mom's
She goes
house.
crazy, just
the
like the
store
bitch
again.
that they picked up, and she's like,
And then it's like so retired. She like steals the baby and freaking
no, he
gets
pulls
in the
into
other
the
car.
store. No, so they're driving, and it perfectly pulls in the store, and then she sees that it's the store that the Hewitts own.
And they're all
They
hanging
see
out
them-
there.
And they're
like,
hanging out with the trailer bitch.
with the little ladies
white-
there. Like everybody was like,
with
hey,
the
let's go to the
baby
store.
that they stole.
Let's go to the store at 3 a.m.
And okay, this is like such a gay Hollywood ending. How they
I know.
decided to
Jessica
do
Biel
this.
gets the baby.
They're like, hey,
Gets in the
she
car.
saved the baby too.
hot
make-
wires it again.
to make the audience
like, hey,
happy.
She can hot wire. And you're like, wow, what is this?
She steals
Like,
Hoyt's.
is this a movie?
She officially steals Hoyt's sheriff.
cop
vehicle.
car.
Runs
him
him over.
backs up, runs him over, backs up 3 times, and you're like, wow, is this a movie?
Like they filmed it like
Total
Rob
dummy.
Zombie Raw
It
style.
was a total dummy, dude. I know it was a dummy. Anyways, so, alright,
And
wrapping
then it
up.
shows the baby.
Let's wrap this up. Overall, I give it I'll give it like
no,
an 8.
then it goes back to the stock footage.
Oh yeah, hold up. It goes back to the old footage of Leatherface.
No, it shows Leatherface one last time on the road.
It shows Uncle
Brian.
Brian.
No, it shows Leatherface on the road and he like hacks the chainsaw at Jessica Biel's car and she's like and then it goes back to stock footage of the opening scene.
It goes back to the opening scene, old
it's
footage.
Like your Uncle Steven.
It's your Uncle Steven from down south. Like, all right, we're gonna go down to the basement. And he's like, "Oh man, water! Watch yourself! Watch!" And he's telling the cameraman, "Oh, be careful! All right, there's a little ledge here.
There's like a total white hit cop."
And then freaking Leatherface comes out like, and he falls down. The camera falls.
And they're like, "This is the only known Hollywood footage, even though we've done 5 movies."
This is the only footage of Leatherface. And you're
like,
like, wow.
And you're like, Dennis Hopper.
And you're like, even though this is only based on a grave robber who like just kept body parts and never made a face or anything like that. But still, you know how they made a story out of it.
If you're like 15 and you think it's real,
I know. If you're 15, you're like, holy shit.
That's why if you type Texas Chainsaw Massacre into Google, it'll be like real story. Is it true? Because all the 13-year-olds are up there. Like,
all right, wrapping up. What do you think?
Dude, this movie made me love horror movies. I have to watch this every other summer, of course.
Every other fall.
And it feels awesome.
You gotta
watch. It's a summer horror movie for sure because it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, and so is Cabin
Fever. Weather.
You virgin.
Cabin Fever's awesome.
All right.
No, that just. So then they made this movie on. No, they made this movie on $9 million budget. Then they went on to do like The Hitcher, Amityville Horror.
Shout out to Nate.
Friday the 13th.
Shout out to Myers Fan 25. Check out their pages, the ballers.
Oh, then there's this one guy, Horror Night 1. I found he uploads like all the death scenes from some iconic horror remakes of the past decade. Horror Night 1, I think it is.
And you're like, yeah, it's pretty tight.
Who else? Everyone that just subscribed to us.
Yeah, all the new subscribers. Get the word out. Get all the horror fans.
Horror movies.
Get all the horror fans.
The more horror fans,
subscribing.
The more movies Hollywood's gonna make.
Tell them what's up.
Even though Platinum Dunes is starting to branch out now because they kind of totally screwed over a Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Who knows? We'll see some good stuff. Check out all the other reviews we got. Rob Zombie sucks. Halloween 2. Check out the Dark Knight review. It's overrated.
Scream 4 review.
Dark Knight sucks.
If you didn't see that in theaters, check it out when it comes out on DVD whenever, like in July.
Alright. Peace.